face him off already?
No face off. Yeah, but we had a few things to say back and forth on the table, and yeah, it was good. Look, we're gonna say things, he's gonna say things, but to be honest, yeah, to me, I respect him, and I think he respects me. But there's a lot of competitive nature too. We both two guys that want to win, but I make a lot of sacrifices to catch that feeling again. And like I said to him, this is not really about the belt. I got all the belts at home. It's not about making money. This is about proving my legacy and doing it again and catching that feeling again in a place that I already created so much history.
George, Drew Titan, do you consider this your second home since you won big here last time? And do you have any jitters coming back here to try and make another statement?
I do consider this my second home. You know, I've had 2 great wins here. I beat Mickey Bay here in 2019, Tiffin Malapis 2022, and here we go again, Hitchins, obviously June 14th. So no jitters. Like I said, you know, there's no real pressure on me. I feel exactly the same I was for Lopez. There was really no pressure on me, and I get to be free and come in and do exactly what I love to do, and I love to fight.
Can I make a suggestion? Do your ring walk, the Road Warrior, Mel Gibson.
Okay.
Throw some guard.
Yeah,
Come on.
Yeah.
That's what you're a road warrior.
Road warrior, and I fight best when I'm a road warrior.
Yeah.
I fight best when I'm away from my comfort zone. I've only ever lost, of course, to Devin Haney Lomachenko in the comfort of fighting in Australia, fighting during the day at 1 o'clock because of the time difference with the American broadcast. Never lost anywhere outside of Australia. So I had great victories in America. I think 7 or 7-0 or 6-0 in the US. Fought all over the world, and you know, they're character building moments. I've been here many times, and you know, this will be legacy again on June 14th. And June 14th, like I said to him, and kind of surprised him, June 14th is a good day because it's my birthday as well. So,
all right.
Saquon Jones with the Boxing Boys. I actually was in Australia at Marvel's Stadium and covering the fight for the Boxing Boys when we fought against Haney the first time. There seems to be there's a transformation or maturity to you now after those 2 defeats and the one to Lomachenko. Can you just walk us through, you know, how the brashness is almost gone and more like, you know, a desire to get back on top is now seems to be, you know, your new way of life, it seems like.
yeah, I'm very motivated. For me, I don't need to sit here and we saw with the Haney fight, and you know, when you're champion, you've pulled off a big victory, and everybody's up your ass pretty much. Of course, you know, you're gonna your head start to grow, and that's how it was. He saw me calling him a rat and saying things that I should have not said, but that's you know, in the midst of the war, you know, things happen. But at this point in my career, you know, I'm driven by legacy, driven by catching that feeling, driven by doing this for the love of the sport. It's not really anything else. You know, shocking the world again. You know, it's a mature Kambosos, a seasoned Kambosos, a guy who has so much experience. You know, like I said to him, he's had 1 championship fight. I've had this going on to my 6th championship fight, 12 rounds after 12 rounds. So I feel good at this weight. Obviously, my goal and my motivation is to become a 2-division champion. And June 14th, God willing, I will be victorious again.
Kambosos, AB Boxing News. You know, how do you feel at this weight at 140 pounds, and what did you take from the Lomachenko fight coming to this fight?
Yeah, I took from the Lomachenko fight that was 1 fight too long at 135, and I could see that looking back at it, Lomachenko, who's not the biggest guy in the world, was bigger than me. He looked thicker than me, and you could see that I had sucked myself down too much. And again, with that rehydration clause of 140, 145 through the IBF at 10 pounds. You know, it's hard work. It's not easy where you make a weight the morning, obviously the day before the fight, and then that night we had to do another 10 pounds. Then we had to go fight at 12 o'clock or 11:30. So you got to be up at like 7 a.m. getting ready to go fight a guy like Lomachenko. So yeah, look, I took a lot from them that fight, that lesson. Again, it's Lomachenko. This is an all-time great Hall of Famer, and I know my buddy Hitchins was trying to disrespect him and say that he's better than Lomachenko and Lomachenko ain't shit. And to me, Lomachenko is a Hall of Famer, all-time great, and I've got a lot of respect for him. So I learned a lot from that. I feel fantastic at 140. My last fight against a very tough and dangerous guy who had just come in. Obviously, he was fit and ready. He was about to fight in 2 weeks. 15 knockouts out of 16 victories. Big puncher, strong, nothing to lose, no pressure, and gave me a good fight. But you could see how dynamic I was. I was very sharp, very explosive, until obviously the cut, clean shot, climbing had me thinking, oops, this could affect the big fight. So yeah, we got through, touched the the water at 140, and here we are now again.
So your explosiveness, you feel like you carried
Well, when Kambosos came to America and everyone was talking about him, obviously sparring Manny Pacquiao, and who's this guy? And people started to watch and they said triple punch combinations in and out and moving, and then that kind of diminished. You start to pinpoint, where did that go? Obviously, I had a hell of a fight with Lopez, but the older you get, the harder it is with weight. Slowly, that was diminishing, and I was less output. So now at 140, we saw it in my last fight, more output, more chances, not worried about taking a shot and coming back, and that was the old Kambosos. So safe to say he's back. He's here.
Jay with Sportbox TV official. Actually, keeping it on the topic of Pacquiao, what are your thoughts on his return? Actually,
yeah, it's surprising. Obviously, I know Manny very well. He's a true competitor. He's a guy that if you put something in his head, and obviously to create more history, he's a guy that's going to give everything and try his best. That's what Manny. One thing I always learn with Manny is give 110% and try your best no matter what. So yeah, he's going to give it his all. Again, you can't be Father Time, but Father Time is hard, and it was very hard watching him fight Ugas. You could see it, and then watching the exhibition he had with the Korean guy or the Japanese guy in I think last year. It was hard to watch. I know Manny. I know the man that I was sparring. I love that guy. So, but again, he's a legend, and if he turns it on, he can still do it.
absolutely. And also, so the plans, if everything goes well against Hitchins, would be Tio. Now, seeing Tio's last fight, is that the same Tio that you fought, or are there differences in the fight game, and how do you think that you would do against him coming up after this?
Look, my mindset, of course, there are bigger plays here, but my mindset is on Hitchins. I can't sit there and speak about anyone else who I'm going to fight next. I'd be crazy to do that. Let him do that. Let him say he's going to fight this guy and that guy after Kambosos. I'm focused on Hitchins, June 14th. After that, who knows? Who knows what's to happen? I might go back on my big boat and start a ferocious fishing vlog and catch big fish like you would have seen me doing. Who knows what I might go do a UFC fight.